Hi, a very good morning to everybody. Uh, so, this is one of those rare luxuries of sitting at home and attending an online course. It is going to start a little late, but me being the morning person, I have been sitting here waiting for the session to start. It is interestingly a course that I'm doing on motherhood and mothering, and the first day was rather interesting. It's interesting for a person like me who isn't a classified biological mother, but of course, as students of life and literature, particularly, we've all had our tryst with the glorification and the idealization of motherhood. So, quite refreshing to learn some perspectives from some of the scholars in the field. But anyway, having said that, uh, I'm here for the very reason that I'm always here, and that is poetry. After a very long time, I've had the opportunity to send some poetry submissions, to revisit some of my old poems, and of course, I don't know, there is, some uncanny connection between the winter weather and this very strong desire, the returning desire to keep going back to poetry, particularly in this weather. Maybe it acts as this another extra layer of warmth as December and January sort of advance towards you. So I have seen this particular pattern in my life for the last so many years now that the moment it gets cold, the more, and it's not something planned, the more I feel the need to sort of get the heaters in the hearth out, but also the poetry in the life out. So I was just going through these two poems, which I thought I'll share with you, composed about a couple of years back, and slice of life poems that are close to me. And I thought, what better opportunity than this to share them with you. Also, on that note, I want to mention that lately I've been trying to write a paper on a digital poetry for an upcoming conference. And while I'm exploring and researching on the various forms of poetry that are emerging, in the current poetic landscape because of the altering effects of digitization and social media, and you come across these fancy terms like blackout and hyper poetry and digital poetry, I don't know, the old school soul in me feels a little thwarted, a little not so happy, a little disappointed because I feel while it is great, to create that kind of a flexible poetic universe where the reader has a say, where the modalities are so dynamic, but also I feel, as somebody, as I said, who's fed on a treasure of old classical poetry, that I feel somewhere, for me, poetry has always been about, life throwing us all off balance, and then we trying to kind of recreate and restore that balance through the beautiful aesthetics of poetry. And if those aesthetics were to be compromised in the form of digitization, I don't know how much of that warmth, that healing therapy, that the transportation would really happen. But anyway, some food for thought, and I'll go to one of the first poems I want to share with you, which is inspired by a very random everyday occurrence, and that is the pile of clothes, the huge pile of clothes that surround all of us, which we are constantly folding, unfolding, and how it bears uncanny analogies with life situations. So this one is called Unfolding, and here it goes. Clothes remember what the mind cannot. Stick to our quiet bodies as queries. Who will prepare the house? They ask. Now that the pair of birds in repose have flown to their separate years, stranded in chairs, hooked into nails, behind the bathroom doors, drying in the sun, an assembly of questions scattered. They resemble a forgotten speech, only sleepier by the day. In the secret room, dresses in waiting, trouble the bridal bed. I set aside a few and release the night birds. Don't tell me how many days We have stuttered, shuttered, wondering only which aperture of sky wants us more. Why asked and unasked, beautiful and ugly, must enter through the same door. So this was my little rumination, little reflection on the various sides of clothes and how once they belong to people, and people, of course, were a repository of tremendous emotions, and all those episodes and instances of life we recall when we look at them. The second one, there are two of them. I am thinking which one should I share with you. Okay, the second one is again a very, very, because these are slice of life poems. So this is again the typical side of something baking in your microwave, in your oven, and how, of course, it bears semblance to certain memories and builds up a certain nostalgia. And yeah, so this is called Winter Fruit, and I think it goes well with the sync of the season. Peculiar how the oleo of days and rain and sun inside a tomato can raise so much like time itself. A liberal age distilled to what one swallow will try and erase. Strange, strange that in summer the same tomato adores the earth, light, like clear water in its wildest form, and sprawling on the steel vines of my portico, full of its red orb sensuality. The fossil brightness, slightly warm, filling my mouth with sweet nostalgia and the bitter finish of beer. Winter is around again, and again I'm older. For several days it's been faintly raining, and the blunt, beautiful sunlight diminished. Something weather waked inside the oven smolders, a bunch of tomatoes, toward forever, where one wet fruit, like the love neglected, stares from the bowl. This winter, the fruits of your fruits are baking. So this is my second poem. I don't know if you liked it, resonated with it, enjoyed it, but I just thought I'll bring this little poetic gift in the morning. Wish you all a happy, healthy winter. Thank you.